the station crew. Enjoy your stay.
Alright, welcome back to Space Station 14. This will be another round taking place on Wizard's Den's Lizard server. This time around, we're going to be running a little gimmick, along with many misadventures along the way. So, we'll be skipping around the round start power setup, as is tradition, for now anyway. And here's the idea. I've gathered a bunch of things, namely plasteel and maybe some batteries, to boost our budget. And we're going to use it to get glass, to glass all the corridors, and make it pretty, basically. I've tried this a couple of times, maybe trying different iterations of patterns. Anyway, here we arrive at cargo to sell our box full of plasteel and other valuable things. This will give us the funds necessary to order plenty of things. And also we have a small reserve of glass to start with the project already. I thought we won't be skipping through most of the round this time around, instead using fast forward, baby. We'll be fast forwarding at about 3.5 times speed, as you can see. Because this is gonna take pretty much the entire round. But there will be plenty of misadventures along the way. So basically, this time around, the pattern I'm going for is glass on the sides and a hallway in the middle. Basically, as you can see. I'll be changing the design a bit later on, just to add some patterns. As you can see, nobody really seems to mind any of that. But I've been hearing these punching noises. I can see here a security officer using syndicate contraband to punch people, which is illegal. Anyway, here I act as a scared employee. It's also pretty annoying, especially the sounds. But this was a small distraction to our main project. So, let's get back to it. I said let's get back to it. Ah, there it is. So you can see that people think that I was gonna do... You can either do all the hallway, you can do the side hallways, or you can do what I'm doing with the middle hallway, or whatever other pattern you guys can come up with. As you can see, we're still on this side quest with Syndicate security. Anyway, there's a bunch of fighting noises. Now we get back to work. That's pretty much the end of that, basically. So as we spread the design around the station, I'm thinking of an idea, just about now, that having the middle pathway doesn't really serve a purpose if we don't also connect the doorways. So instead I make for some allowances for the doorways with the hallway tiles. Anyway, now we head to the chapel. Oh, and also we order some stuff. But now we head to the chapel because there's a service going on, and also we need to repair something in the side room. Let's take a break and listen to the sermon. As you can see, there's 4, 5, plus chaplain, plus 2 bots. It's a couple people. And they're all here basically to take a break from whatever they were doing, like the chief engineer. Now, as this happens, we get more reminders on the fact that there's something to fix over on the right. You can see the doors open. And some gas leaks. And somebody's looking at the camera. So many things happening. More people are joining in. Now, not a lot of people are listening in, or at least compared to the overall station, but it's still nice. Anyway, somebody else asks us to repair the chapel's doors. So we go ahead and stop listening to this sermon, repair those doors, and go back to work. I've got a crate of glass here. A lot of glass, actually. When the syndicate security person says they're gonna leave. Which is good. Oh, and also we hear some fighting noises. So we have to go. Because of the snake's poison, we do lose our vision. But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, since, from what I can hear, the snake has been dispatched, we can go back to work. Or at least organizing our work. So I put all the glass over here in this unassuming box in this corner, and we get back to renovating the station. This is a bit of a harder one because the corridors is going in a somewhat circular fashion, diagonally. But we can still, you know, just glass the floors, basically. I do like the effect that it has on the lighting. Since there's a big luminous planet behind in this background, on stations without a big luminous planet when it's just the stars, it doesn't illuminate dark areas. So that's also another key aspect. Anyway, we see another snake. So we take the opportunity to go ahead and do renovations as we go. Now, as you can see, I've been injured ever since the first snake attack, and we are near medical. So soon enough, we'll take a break and head to medical. Which is gonna turn out to be like a whole thing. So we've managed to make the eastern half of the station basically all glass, from engineering to the command bridge. So that's basically the half of the station, if you don't include evac and arrivals and cargo over there in this little section. So we head to medical to get treated. And as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 people in medical. And 5 if you include the bot. But there's 4 people in medical, there's about 4 people getting treatment. But people are distracted. Thankfully the chaplain comes in to help us out. which does help quite a lot. And now, seeing as though I'm alright, I decide to leave and go back to work. Oh, it's gonna be like a side quest with disposals and being emagged. Actually, it's not emagged, it's just a savage disposal that's emagged and whatever. So we'll be skipping over that. So I'll do some efforts to actually persuade people that disposals it was salvages that was emagged and not the ones in actual disposals. Also, for some reason, the alert turns purple for whatever reason. We never find out why. Usually, purple alert is to signify zombies because there's no other real reason to use a medical infection alert. Not yet, anyway. Anyway, now we've somewhat done the path towards arrival. So now we're going to the western half. Oh, and also we got an announcement from Science that they've got advanced tools. And also, someone asks us if one of our co-workers has been seen in engineering, and what I have seen them, I have only seen them outside of engineering. So I decided to just refrain from commenting. As you can see, the effect of lighting the passageway does take quite a... I think it's nice. Especially if there was like a power outage. Though I'm not sure I would redo this sideways glass again. It does look kind of good. Anyway, now we've made the south passage from the middle of the bridge towards security. We're not going towards science. We've already done a bit on the northern side. As you can see, this is taking a lot of materials. In fact, somebody who needed glass could just as easily justify taking away the flooring so they could use some glass with a crowbar. Oh, because I've heard that the Science had advanced tools, I just, you know, since I'm here, might as well ask. Somebody made a lot of tools, like a lot of them, which is really good for engineering, but not very good for science, who needs to do other things than just supply engineering. As you can see, there is quite a lot. And people are serving themselves. Oh, and because they don't want them to share them without any, like, payment back, I say that I'll pay them with some of our budget. Since we've got a somewhat busted budget. As you can see here, we have 3 sets of advanced tools. Plus a 4th one if you count myself. So I make sure to just let them hang out in the lobby of engineering. Oh, and also I'll be explaining to this person here what they all do. That's good. First we have the power drill here. It's a 1 space. It's just like a screwdriver in terms of space. It takes 1 slot on your belt. It's a 1x2, but it does the functions of a wrench and a screwdriver. We have an infinite welder, and here we have an advanced crowbar and wire cutter. All of these tools also do the jobs better than their basic tools. And for the advanced welder, there's a neat trick that if you use it with sunglasses, it won't blind you, because it's like less powerful or something. It's safer to use. So if you only have sunglasses, it's still good. Anyway. Oh, and because the communications were out, when I made the money transfer to Science, it wasn't broadcasted, which sounds like some good information to give out for like saboteurs. If they want to order some stuff without anybody knowing, you could potentially take out cargo comms, order a bunch of guns, and they wouldn't know about it because comms were cut. Anyway, as we wrap up, now we've looped all the way around the station, basically. And we're making our way towards evac. Evac was called. And I hear this interesting announcement on the comms. We get something from the... Come on. Come on! Uh-oh. It's foreshadowing, I swear. It's gonna happen at any time now. From the astrometrics department, that a solar mass ejection has been detected. To seek shelter, avoid EVA, and to not stare at the sun. Which means that I'm gonna go on and put my art suit on, which I haven't done all shift, by the way. And I think that maybe all the glass on the station that I've put down might not help with this solar mass ejection we're hearing about. You find some space to put my beret, so I can put on my hard suit helmet. And now that I know that I am safe if the sun hits me, basically, maybe, kind of. If the sun comes, at least I'll be more protected than the average person. I go back to glassing the floors. It's quite a neat effect. Anyway. As we get back to our usual thing. A strange light and an explosion sound comes from out there. And you can see that a lot of fire is spreading. Cargo is also seeing that. There was somebody doing an EVA, extra vehicular activity. That's what that stands for. So we're kind of worried about them. Make sure to warn everybody about what is happening. They can somewhat see it. You can see a bunch of engineerings are hanging around, seeing fire. Everybody seems to be noticing it, basically. They say it's my fault because maybe I put too many windows. Ask me if it was my fault, and I hope it wasn't. Anyway, because I'm thinking that there's gonna be a bunch of spacing going on, I make sure to grab extra batteries for the our hollow fan that we got from Science too. So I can put a bunch of hollow Atmos blockers all over the station. Anyway, we head back out, but this time we are no longer focused on glassing the floors, but instead assessing damage. So slot in the battery and see what's what. So it seems that to us like the northern airlock has been obliterated, and the glass here has all been very heavily damaged. You wouldn't be able to survive a second hit like this. and I intuitively think that every single piece of glass on evac, and evac is coming by the way, that every single piece of glass is about to explode on the next wave of solar ejection. Except, spoiler alert, there's never going to be a next wave of solar ejections. Anyway, I scream in my comments for engineering because they're literally right next door, and I know for a fact there's at least 4 of them just hanging around doing in the lobby. And since they're in the lobby, they must have taken the tools, and if not, that means that somebody took the other 2 sets of tools. Which includes an infinite welder, which we need right now.
Meteors have been detected on emerging station.
Anyway, now we hear meteors, which would, if they hit evac, would definitely space it. Thankfully, the CE is here, who also has all the advanced tools, but this time, the Chief Engineer gets advanced tools by default. So they can really help with our needing to weld a bunch of windows. As you can see, we spent at least 350 units of welding fuel, which would have been 3.5 regular welders. Or we'd have to go and refuel 3 times. We weld on a window costs 10 welding points. I said to engineering that we have spent a lot of fuel, and that it would be much better if there were more people. Anyway, we secured the main corridor and this eastern arm, basically, except for the northern bit. So we headed the western arm. And also we refill our hollow fan. And now I think the time to explain what I actually saw, since I only was screaming to come to evac and I didn't actually say what was at evac. Anyway, make sure to isolate some of these to compartmentalize the evacuation corridors. In case one of these windows breaks, it won't air out the entire evac arm. Ouch. I just hurt myself on my desk. Anyway, more engineering people are showing up at evac, which is a bit late because we've already done the major part of the work. Doing repairs. Also, evacuation is coming in 1 minute. So now we said the main engineering team has arrived finally. I make sure to point out that it is literally next door to us. They were teaching somebody about the Tesla, which would be reasonable, except that the fact that it's been an hour and a half, and more like an hour. The round has been ongoing, but that's all right. No harm, no foul, basically. It's pretty much done anyway. We had a particularly filled engineering room in evacuation. And now we make it to the end of the round. It was not exactly eventful, but we had a project to carry out. Not that it accomplished much, but it was quite the occasion to see plenty of things happening around us. So I gotta complain about these metal foam grenades. They seem to be designed to plug up holes, but they take so long to deploy and are unreliable in their plugging of holes. But I usually just carry them for combat purposes, to block people from chasing me. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, that was fun, and cool, and interesting. Okay, bye, okay, bye, okay, bye, okay, bye.